translate, we back translate, they apply it. The sample totally worldwide is 22,000 people. It is scientifically representative of about 2 billion people. So it's far from being a global survey, but it's towards it. The interviewing was done in person and by telephone. And the other note on methodology is that in 8 of the developing economies, the representation of the sample is urban only. So in some of the developing, when you see the findings for them, think of urban areas of those countries. Okay? Some of the slides are not big room friendly, so I've put in some slides that show overall percentages across all of these 22 countries. We use for those we use a UN model of one country, one vote, but a weighted model doesn't change the overall result. So at the very end, I'm going to give you access where you can get the full results because I'll be moving quickly. Early in the study, in the survey, we did establish that across all of these countries, 80% of people believe that human causes are a significant source of climate change problems. So early on we said, do you think they are human activity is a significant cause of climate changes or not? And 80% across the countries said that they felt that it was. What about urgency? We asked people, as you may know, there's been some discussion about limiting the human impacts on climate. What do you think should be done? Do you think it's not necessary to take any steps to reduce human impacts? 6% across the 22 countries, 22,000 interviews said that. And it was interesting to us as pollsters that 65% took the most urgent sense of option for action in very soon and major steps. So there's a sense of urgency. We've been tracking this in our other research for over a decade, and we can show that it's really the perceptions around the impacts of this on erratic weather that has captured the public view on this. Quite a dramatic pre and post Katrina in terms of American opinion on this, going from a bit of an outlier from where other countries were to being right where Western Europe was after Katrina. So it's erratic weather that's caused this sense of urgency that exists in the public mind across these 22 countries. We then addressed the issue of burden sharing between countries. And here we said, here are 2 positions on how different countries in the world should participate in action on the human causes. And again, this is one of the unfriendly slides. On the right, we said large, less wealthy countries have very low energy use on a per person basis and therefore should not have to participate in lowering emissions along with wealthy countries. So that's the orange readings by country. The countries are generally in order, grouped by geography. So well, here we can see that that's a predominant view in Italy, Egypt, and Nigeria. Those are the only 3 countries out of the 22. The other point of view was that these emissions are significant and growing quickly, and therefore less wealthy countries should be required to take action along with wealthy countries. And you can see what one could expect: Western Europe, North America, but look at Mexico, yes, Australia, but look at China. So we have quite a significant sense that it's all hands on deck. I want to point to India. It's our research in India. The sample is a representative national sample. So we get the white in all cases is don't know or are unable to answer the question. And in rural India, we get very high don't know. So, but it's on a 3-to-2 basis, tending towards all should take action at the same time. We then tested the possibility of a deal, and we said, to what extent would you support a deal whereby wealthy countries provide funding and technology, and in return for that, the less wealthy countries agree to lower their emissions at the same time as wealthy countries. And here we have just the overall average across the 21 countries that were asked this question. Very strong and consistent across the world. And in India, twice as many agree with that bargain as so. And in China, as you would infer from the previous, very strong support for that kind of an arrangement of burden sharing between countries. We then explored the individual role, the individual's role, and we went through a number of questions, but we got to the idea of paying more taxes on energy. Here's the overall results. Again, overall averages across the 21 countries. Not only business isn't too interested in paying more taxes, but individuals are not. So the wording of the question is, to what extent would you favor or oppose paying more in taxes on your energy, and especially energy that causes higher greenhouse gas emissions like coal and petroleum, in order to encourage both individuals and businesses to use less? That's the wording of the question. We got 50%. I'm going to show you the individual country results in a moment. But overall, 50% willing to pay more in taxes. Then we asked the people who opposed paying tax without any specification of how the funds would be used, 2 additional questions. We split the sample and got to, in one case, we asked, what if the revenue from that tax was dedicated to providing investment in clean and efficient fuel options, energy? And the other half of the sample, we asked, what if your taxes were kept at the same level by reducing other taxes while raising energy taxes? You can see that adding the impact of that to the people who disagreed up here, the overall percentages are at the 3 and 4 level under both designs. Obviously, a design that had both in place would be more successful than otherwise. Here's the country-by-country results. You can see here the US, 46% without specifying anything, but that goes to 74% if the funds, this shows that if the funds were used for solutions to climate change. Look at China. We got 85% without specifying application, another 12%. This is urban Chinese, 200 interviews in each of the 9 major urban areas of China. In fact,